Oh, that's bright. I didn't do it, all right? 10 years. 10 whole years on YouTube. Who can believe it? I can't. Now this is one of a few videos that we're going to do, more like a reaction of old content, things you've never seen before, for good reason, a lot of it. Tommy's been there like cringing at some of the stuff that we used to do 10 years ago. Somehow we made it, we passed the test of time, and well, the saying goes, everyone's got to start somewhere, and I started in 2012. So 2012 was my first video. What have I gained in 10 years of YouTube? Friends, lots of friends. Thanks mate. An amazing community. I could not honestly be prouder. Gained a lot of confidence. So the thing I'm going to talk about is people ask when you want to be a YouTuber, I want to start a YouTube channel when I gain confidence. That's kind of like saying I'll go swimming when I learn to swim. You've got to throw yourself in the deep end, you've got to start somewhere, and I did. And yes, ask any YouTuber, you grow in confidence, and it's scary at the start. I also gained lots of weight. Lots of weight was gained throughout the years, but happiness also was gained as well. It's been a great journey. A lot of things have changed. We've had 4 YouTube channels and over 2 different continents. Some good moments or some bad moments, like anything. There's things I regret doing. There are things that I definitely don't regret doing. And that, I suppose that goes for everything in life. So before we look at the first video, can you remember what YouTube looked like 10 years ago, Tommy?
Star ratings?
Star ratings? I remember that.
The yellow subscribe.
The yellow subscribe button. There were no shorts. There were no thumbnails. I mean, you look at some of these are like short thumbnails. So now we kind of become a mini graphic designer, because you've got to be able to create your own thumbnails to get the appeal. As clickbaity as sometimes that may seem, a decent title, lots of scripting and planning. When I first started, it was literally filming on a potato. iPhone 4, I think it was, maybe, even could have been 3. Horrendous lighting. There was no lighting actually. It was just the net that was lit up, as you'll see very soon. For me, it was video making in its rawest form. Now we've got amazing non-copyright music to use. At that point, I don't think there were many websites like that. It was just a few non-copyright songs we got off of YouTube, some terrible songs, like absolutely awful. And sound effects I even made by hand, and I've got a video to show you that one as well, which is desperate times. So 10 years ago, the golf YouTube scene looked very different on YouTube. Now we've got hundreds, thousands of golf YouTube channels trying to do the same thing, trying to compete, to get seen, to grow. The positives of that are the golf YouTube scene is growing in general. It was a lot harder back then to get your legs because golf YouTube wasn't a thing. So pros and cons on both sides, but 10 years ago, only the OGs were on YouTube. The big channel I think at the time was Mark Crossfield. I would love to know what subscribers, I'll try and find out at this point what they were on. Shooting through the ranks was a young Rick Shields. We had Peter Finch. Me and my golf were huge, as still are, obviously. So yeah, we weren't as confident as probably what we are now on camera. We had to start somewhere. I'm sure the big guys have shown you early videos, if not they will do. And it's just cringy. It's like watching it through your hands. And this is exactly what we're going to be doing today, showing you some of the worst videos on the internet. By far, but you've got to start somewhere, and we did. So if you've got a YouTube channel called Golf Support TV, that was my first ever channel. If you scroll down 10 years ago, you'll see one video that I'm not going to talk about right now because we've done a retro review on it, but that in theory is my first ever point on camera 10 years ago with a particular driver. Don't go and spoil it for yourself because like I say, we've got a retro coming up, but we're not going to look at that one. We're going to move on. 10 years ago, Nike Covert 4-iron. Mate, just looking at this thumbnail. It's not a thumbnail. There's not. It's just a screenshot. 18 seconds. How good's that quality? You see us doing all this wavy business now? Yeah, they're trying to stabilise it because it's old content and it's awful. Well, I don't know what to take away from that one. That was literally it. That was one of my first videos, was literally me standing there with a 4-iron. It went 300 yards, but it was massive. And that was the start of it, building in confidence. So we go to the next. This is when I remember, we're talking about confidence. I was nervous here because there was an area behind us that, this is what started all the videos off. The reps would come in, say, like they do with the new products now, do you want to try this? And then my mate would be like, I'll just film you on my phone. So I'm here with this new Nike Covert driver. He's filming me and I'm like, I'll just stick it on the YouTube. And next thing you know, it got like a couple of hundred views, which was massive at the time, especially it was a new channel. And I thought, well, this is quite cool. I'm going to do this with a few other drivers. So you'll notice here with this video, again, it's just, you can hear the rep in the background. Look how slow and loopy my swing is. That's snap hooking, that is, mate. You towed that.
359.
359. Still got it. Still got it. So yeah, so reps would come in, you'd hit a shot, and then my mate literally just, I've got many people to thank. This was never planned, the YouTube journey for me. So the rep would stand there and be like, I think he filmed it to show the guys at Nike. Like, this guy, you know, it goes miles. It's obviously credit to nothing to do with me, it's credit to the technology and the driver. So from that point, my next video, it's now on 9 years, but that'll soon tick over to 10. 501 views of my ZL Encore driver on the range by Alex Etches. And it's 8 seconds. So blink and you'll miss this one. I remember how well I hit that. And I've watched, those 500 views are all me. I remember watching that over and over again. May I say at this point as well, James Wiltshire was called Gorilla James at this point. And I chat a fair bit to James on Instagram, and we were doing content at some point. And I remember, I've never told him this, there was a video he did on the range, and I always reference this to you still now. When it was on the range, the video's been taken down, I think the song was copyright, but it was a very like chilled vibe on the range. Like you could argue James started that. You see all these range videos now, like night sessions. That video, I remember, I think afterwards he did this range video, and it was such a lovely chilled vibe, and all he did was hit shots. I watched that video so many times because it was just a great choice of song. And at that point he was doing some really funky stuff, he was doing like impressions and stuff. But again, that was the OG days.
Put in that first review of yours. What's the latest comment? See if people are still going back.
I was gonna go. I mean, it would have been a few years ago. I went back and actually looked at the comments, but I'm worried it's gonna be like, bloody hell, Al ate himself or something, do you know what I mean? But the weird thing is, I don't feel like many from Golf Support actually came over. I feel like every time, this has been the hardest part for me, and one of the things I do regret is I wish I'd have started my channel right at the beginning, because you say to yourself, where would I have been now? But you can't say that, can you? Because shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know, I've learned, I want to come to Australia. That wouldn't have happened. So wherever con there's a pro. The next one, this is a really in-depth review, this one. 25 seconds. TaylorMade SLDR, the OG, by Alex Etches. 8.4 thousand views. That's huge. Look at how slim I am there. Not sure about the swing, he loves a bit of toe. But yeah, this is the early content again. Make films, we stick it on the internet, and that's, I remember, nearly hold that, I remember that. That was a mental shot. And this is the point where you'll start to see a bit more, I say confidence grow. I start to say a little bit more, hi, hit a shot before I didn't even say anything. It sounds ridiculous, but I'm definitely confident now in front of a camera, in front of people, but that's never started like that. So it's not something you just learn, you've just got to do it. If you're debating making a channel, you'll never will unless you just do it. Simple as that. Oh, what a life lesson. Can you remember when you were over a certain amount of views, it was like plus 304, and that's all you could see. Yeah. That was weird, wasn't it? Talking about confidence again, that wasn't it. I didn't just start making videos from there. We actually got a few different guys in the store to make videos. So I was a bit of a sidekick, started to become the idiot, which kind of progressed from there. But my mate Ben, he did a few. I stood next to him. Actually, we got the Tor Trusty. Look at that for graphics.
Hi guys, I'm Ben and I'm Al from Golf
Look at that earring.
UK. Today we're here with the new Cobra Tor Trusty wedge.
Look at Ben. Ben looks so happy, doesn't he?
This year, Tor Trusty, as Alex mentioned, replacing the Trusty Rusty from last year. Completely round, and we'll...
I remember doing this. Do you know what you do a video and you talk? Like, even now, it's different because I don't get many people on the channel. But when you're talking and you're doing your own stuff in your own pace, it's so easy. But when somebody else is talking, you ever thought like you've got to think about what you're doing, even though somebody else is talking? So if you don't do that, this is a prime example of what happens, because I'm just there going, you got to like, you know what I mean, like be involved. But Ben's the same. Ben's like, it's gold.
Just
It's
go
gold.
through those now for you.
Big change in terms of the degrees from last year. It was obviously the odd numbers, 51, 53, 55 degrees. It's now gone back to the traditional degrees of 52, 54, 56, so now even.
Look at Ben!
Goes on up to 60 degrees.
This is a year after my life saving. I used to be a lifeguard, if you didn't know that as well. So I was in decent shape.
A new groove configuration as well.
Tan from being in Turkey.
And feel really good. So let's give these things a go.
Right guys, I'm going to hit first. I've got the 56.
I had a very
12.
low belt buckle.
You'll notice with the 12 we've now got bounces, as last year it was a tri
Yeah. Some things never change.
The angle of the club face. One thing you'll notice is now we've got a larger milled groove, so this is going to increase the spin rate and also...
I had a few people comment saying my accent's changed quite a bit since then, but I reckon it's down to audio. So I'm going to sound better because I'm mic'd up like this, but as soon as it starts echoing and stuff, it's very, very different. Your accent gets stronger, I feel anyway. You know, so when you've got like good audio, you sound better. So I'm not saying my accent's any better than this. This is pure Mansfield boy.
Massive difference in the actual head at address.
Where did that shot go? Oh,
Hi guys.
great little transition.
In the satin finish. You can see here the new K grind, which is more versatile for a wide range of shots. So let's have a go with this.
So at this point, we were heavily into SEO. You were saying like, why did we start this? This was, we were way ahead of the time. We're talking 10 years ago working SEO on videos to try to get them out to rank. And it was a big deal for the website to get a Tor Trusty review out there. We honestly thought, and I think at the time it did, really push the product pages as well. So it was a bit of a push from the company to do the videos. So you kind of got to put yourself into, I didn't particularly want to do them at the start, I'll be honest with you. It was definitely more of a, you've got to do it, it's your job. So I was more in, at this point I was fit in teaching, doing my PGA, I was running the social media, I also did some customer service, I also worked on the floor, I did videos. And that's one thing, I'd never change, where I've worked for a company, I've done every single aspect of a golf company, whether that's be packing, ordering, display ads, marketing, social media, done it all. And that's not something I would ever have done, I reckon, if I had my own channel. I'd have just gone off on my own and I wouldn't have had that experience, but yeah. So we were doing a PGA at the same time, Ben and I. I was an usher at his wedding. They moved to Cornwall. Missed those guys.
Very good. Nice.
Right, thanks for watching the review guys. As you can see, Ben's now out of the net. I'm going to give these large...
Finally! See, I'm talking quite quiet because there's people in the shop and I'm like, don't want them to hear what I'm saying. Good little zip. Oh, what is the screen doing? Whoa! Exposure! Thanks for watching. We love these wedges. Come down for a demo. It was different 10 years ago.
Do a little Christmas ad you did with the ball bouncing around.
Shall I play that one? So that was my first talking about a product, I'd say, side by side. The Christmas ones, Tommy, you're really embarrassing me, aren't you? This is what I've got Tommy here for, because...
It is Christmas.
It is Christmas, yeah. We'll play a Christmas special. So again, this is another thing we did. This was when we were working heavily on social and SEO, trying to get products out there again. We did 12 days of Christmas giveaway, and thinking outside the box, I thought I'd do a video on it because no one was doing that. You know, it was all blog articles, Blogger. Remember that? Cracking me. But yeah, this is 46 seconds. Look at that. I made that. I made that, and I thought that is a flipping good job you've done there. So that's the old golf support logo with some amazing, a bit flurry of snow. It's a bit of a drawn Santa hat. You would never know, would you? No. That's rivaling your stuff, that is.
No, it is.
Isn't it?
10 years ago. Yeah.
I'd love to see your stuff 10 years ago, actually.
Hi guys, I'm Al from golfsport.com.
Hi Al.
Merry Christmas, and you may have heard about our 12 days of Christmas giveaway. We'll be giving away one item a day from the 3rd of December to the 14th. In order to win and be a part of this, you've got to share us on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter.
So, I don't mind saying this. Can you hear my mouth?
Yeah.
It's when I got my teeth knocked out. So, long story, if you follow Twitch, you know I've told you the story before. But I was a bit of a scrapper as a kid. And I think at this point I just had a few teeth removed.
Facebook, retweet us on Twitter. We'll be giving away towels,
So sound like this, isn't it?
caps, bags, and golf balls. Thanks for coming to golf support.
The laugh's not changed, has it? Neither Alex or the equipment was harmed during this video. So I mean, just like I say, great memories. And then a pattern started to emerge of me being an idiot. We did, like I say, I've got one more of me and a guy called Cal. Cal was a big boy. Like you see me next to him, I mean, I'm a 6'4". I wouldn't have grown from then, I would have still been 6'4". Look how small I am.
He looks like,
I think he was 6'8", 6'9",
he must be like, yes.
but built like a brick house. But anyway, this is a waterproof one, and again, I play the role of the idiot. Oh my God.
Hi guys, my name's Callum, I'm from Golf Support. As you can see outside, the weather is changing rapidly and winter is fast approaching. So it's time to dig out those waterproofs. And then for those of you who haven't got any, you need to get yourself a set of Galvins, and today we're going to show you how effective they actually are.
Pure content, this.
So this is the Galvin Green Acton Pack Light and the Alf Performance Trouser. Let's see if they stand up to the test.
I'm not wearing any waterproofs.
So let's see if we're dry.
Anyway, you get the idea. That was again a role of, I suppose, thinking outside the box. Where we don't want it to just be a waterproof video. We wanted to make it slightly entertaining, so you want to continue watching it. My analogy was always, I always wanted to have a Top Gear episode. We still say that to this day, don't we? You watch Top Gear even if you're not interested in cars. It's a very popular show, and it's having that ability to try, still not successful. I'm nowhere near where we want to be. This is the best part about it, we're still striving to get there. But it's having that content where it is trying to appeal more to the masses. From here, this is probably my biggest video. We probably skip now a few months. I do the odd video on categories like golf shoes and stuff. But there's one video that I thought was the difference. And I'd say this is a video where I actually scripted something. I was sponsored by Nike. They made an amazing jacket called a Nike Hyper Adapt. And tried to explain to Tommy, it was a waterproof. And they said it could actually increase your club head speed. Because they say on average you lose 1 to 2 miles an hour in a really rustly jacket. You're moving inside a jacket. This was tight enough so when you swung, it basically pulled your arms back in and increased, well, they said increased club head speed. So it was a very exciting piece of technology. It was a waterproof, and I was like, how can I make this at all exciting? So this is my first ever properly scripted video, again in the shop when no one's there, because I'm not confident enough yet to talk in front of people. But little things happen in this video again that
Here today wearing the
planned
new
out.
Nike Hyper Adapt Storm Fit top. built to move, designed, stretched.
Still can't look at the
stretching
camera.
The swing. The good thing about it is it's less noisy than last year. Obviously, we all know that buying a new jacket, there's nothing worse than having a jacket that's too noisy. Embarrassing.
It's like you're reviewing to someone through the peephole in a door.
It is, isn't it? It is. So a bit of context before we watch this clip. I had 2 gags in this video, really. But again, this is where I started playing with stories of technology. So like I do still to this day, I'll find something like bubbles, microsphere bubbles, Billy bubbles, we won't talk about that. Having a bit of fun, like how can we, again, try and make this as entertaining as possible. And this is the first one because the 2 big selling points of this jacket were the noise, it was silent, and the second one was basically, it was so high tech, you could basically fly in it, I think was like the marketing behind it. Chris Backett.
Oh yeah, how's it going? Oh yeah, good.
Mate, what? Making so much noise.
I'm doing anything.
Really?
Yeah?
Get out.
What?
You don't hear that noise?
No?
It's a new jacket.
It's a new jacket! Poor chap, hates seeing that. It's extremely quiet, and also we've got the panels here, which will aid the movement in the golf swing. I'm just wondering, you've got them on both sides, if you can fly in it.
Do you know how it goes from horizontal to vertical film? Like, what is going off there?
You can't fly in it. So don't try that at home. Also, lifetime guarantee. Top and the bottoms have got the same material, so it's a full suit. Allows it obviously stretching the swing. Nike is saying that basically we can increase clubhead speed wearing the jacket. I mean, I find it impressive that if we can keep the clubhead speed than what you would have if you didn't have the jacket on. I hate wearing jackets, as I know the majority would rather wear a t-shirt, but the fine weather outside, we've got to wear a jacket. So I'm going to see.
I think the big difference with then to now is as soon as you click record, you naturally want to be different. You want to be this person in front of the camera. Where if you're just yourself and try to be yourself, there's a happy medium. That's me, I'm on camera, basically soiling myself. Soil in the jacket. No, where now, like Tommy, if you met me, whether you got it on or off, it doesn't make any difference. The recording, just a bit of a script, and it's a lot of it is timing. Like there's no timing there at all, not a single bit. But again, that's just something that's happened, I suppose, over time. So I've got a few JPX 850. This is when I remember the boron material in the 850 in the forge. That was big technology. Always gone well with Mizuno, whether that's been in the UK or over here, because I mean it's a flipping cracking brand, ain't it? Titleist 915 driver D2 and D3 review. This is where it started to kick off. Right, so this is what I want to show. RSI 1 and RSI 2. This is what you were talking about before. So 8 years ago, we didn't really know anyone on the golfing YouTube scene. It was very hard to even find each other. But we went to the Belfry for the launch of the RSI, the UK launch. Or was it Wentworth? Belfry? Anyway, and I walked through the door. There's a Mr. Finch, there's a Mr. Shields, there's a Me and My Golf, there's a few other guys from, I think, like Today's Golfer. Who else was there? Chris Ryan, I think was there. Chris, I think you were there. But there's a photo somewhere, I hope I can find it for this video, of, I think Finch and Shields were pretty close doing content at that point. Me and My Golf obviously were, and then we'd all spread around this semicircle listening about the launch of the RSI, and that's where I started to get into that circle of, I suppose, the OGs. Obviously they're on a different level now, but actually I've never been wanting to, I want to succeed, but my success rating is 10 years on the channel and still being happy doing it, and I'm very, very lucky, because none of us at that point would have expected this to have been a career. It was always just an odd video, hence why I'm still a bit on and off with the channel at the moment, because it's never been an intense thing for me, and I never want it to be. I want to do content when we enjoy it, when we've got great ideas. I don't want to just make content for absolutely no reason, so that's basically a bit of background on there. But yeah, the RSI, obviously these were huge because I remember the face slots.
Hi guys,
Big
I'm
bit of
Alex
technology.
Etches from golfsport.com. I'm here today with Taylor.
Get the hearing out!
Irons, the 1 and the 2. Obviously since 2012 they've been bringing out the speed pocket technology in the irons, fairwoods and drivers. So now they've had the addition of face slots, toe and heel for forgiveness, to make this face like a trampoline. So toe and heel strikes, miss hits, hopefully still going the distance. We're going to find out now just how efficient.
I don't know if you can hear that music in the background. This is not like post-edited music. There's a TV above us playing like Lady Gaga on repeat. So I might get done for DMCA.
They are. First hole at the Belfry.
Oh no, I think this is the
I
side.
know these are going to be long before we hit it, so 7 iron, I'm going to go out 200 yards, uphill slightly, and
What are you looking at? Hello?
this video is a bit more green over distance, so we're going to start with the RSI 1.
So, funny little story, I'll tell you quick. We've got many episodes of this because we've got a lot to get through. But a funny story when I was sponsored by Nike, I got invited to the headquarters at Amsterdam. Fell in the canal. Anyway, moving on. I've definitely got like the teenage waggles and stuff going on. It's a good shot out of that.
Okay, pitched over it. 202 carry, and that was so face sort of comes up to yeah, one more.
So the earrings, like I say, I was a Beckham fan, always into my sports. I had different hairstyles. I've had some shockers over the past.
10 yards down on a heavy
But
strike.
the earrings,
So this
I had top and bottom. And I remember my granddad said to me, because the point when I got them pierced, I couldn't drive. My granddad said to me, Al, if you go and get your ear pierced, I'm not taking you anywhere in the car, to any golf course, to go and practice or anything. The following day I went to get my ear pierced. Rebel. But I just wanted it done. I mean, still now, it's still like top and bottom still there. Yeah, still didn't. We had a joke like a couple of weeks ago. I was like, because I've been preparing this content for a while, and Ish was like, "Do your holes like healed up?" And they haven't. The top one was a bit like started to grow back a little bit, but it's just straight back in. Don't know why I wanted to do that, but it's so easy to look at this and say it's crap. At the time, I remember this being good. This is what I mean about personal growth. This to me, I remember thinking and editing it, because I edited an iMovie, and I just remember, you can see the fonts, you can just tell, can't you? There were certain bits where I was just like, this is amazing, you know, and now you look back at it and you go, bloody hell. But we did the same thing like 6 months later. You know, I look back at our videos and I think, you know, I thought that was better than what it was, and I think that's important. You know, there's always things you can change, and you know, not. We say we'll get another again. This is going to be another one of our videos, but one of our best ever videos, in our eyes, really poo-pooed, didn't it? We'll talk about that later. That's another video because it's an entire video. But it just goes to show that when you think something's gone well, doesn't necessarily mean it has. 36,000 views. Right, let's have a look at these comments. I wonder if there's anyone in this comment section here that still watches the channel. Mitch Morales, great result regardless of where the contact is on the club in the video. Nothing's changed there. Scott, thanks, I'm going to buy some RSI 1 irons tomorrow. Pedro, I would like to see the yardages on miss hits from clubs that do not have slots. Hitting your 7-iron 200 yards, that doesn't leave many options inside 200. All right, Eric. What's the thing? And that's what makes you think, bloody hell, I've been doing this a long while, is when a retro review is your first club that you reviewed. You know, 10 years it qualifies for a retro. Like I say, it's going to be, I'm very excited to show you that one. We've had a bit of fun with it. But bloody hell, yeah. Really sets the tone. Right, I think we should watch, to box this first video off, the channel trailer. I remember another one of this. I did this video. Remember, like all this sort of stuff. We had no creator studio. There was no backside to like check your stats and stuff. Really, it was very well. If there was, it was very limited. all I could see was front end views. I mean, my channel trailer's got 6.8 thousand views in 9 years. I remember this. I remember sharing this on social. He's an idiot.
Hi guys, I'm Alex Etches from golfsupport.com, and I'm here today to do something a little bit different.
Something's never changed there.
So fast.
So I'll stop this bit here. So this is the end of that waterproof jacket video we watched earlier. And you see these guys come out of this, you see a few guys come out of this place. Anyway, a very, very serious and highly recommended solicitor was next door, and the amount of times I used to get eye rolls of skits I was halfway doing with these guys all dressed in the suits coming out going, what is this guy doing? And here I am getting like water thrown on me, getting run over by a car. I'm out. It just feels like it was yesterday, some of this stuff. But yeah, like I say, an amazing journey. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Like I say, something very different, reminiscing of where it all started. Maybe in another 10 years we could look back at this and go, remember that time we sat down looking 10 years? Like I say, here for a long time. That's always been my goal. 100,000 subscribers will be fantastic, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't motivate me. It's not my sole purpose of getting up in the morning. It's me enjoying creating content, filming content, and obviously your guys' response of whether you like it or you don't like it, and we learn and we grow. That's really what drives me. I know Tommy's in the same boat, being creative and trying new things out, eh Tommy? But guys, absolute pleasure sharing that with you, as embarrassing as it was. Thank you so much for your support over the 10 years. Let us know, at what point did you join us? I mean, Team Al really only started in Australia, but we've been Team Al from the start, haven't we, really? 10 years. So let us know, were you around in the first channel? Were you around in the channels in between? When did you join us? And if you've got any questions you would like me to answer, stick them down in the comment section. Thank you.